In this video, we're reviewing the brand new WWE Ultimate Edition Series 28 Eddie Guerrero figure, and this is one that I've been excited about. We got some new upgrades right here, and we've been waiting for Ultimate Edition Series 28 for a while. Now, it does come on the heels of Ultimate Edition Series 27, and we got that in maybe a few weeks ago, so that's pretty inspiring because we got it through the door pretty quickly after Ultimate Edition Series 27. But this Ultimate Edition Eddie Guerrero right here was the one that was most requested to be reviewed first. We, of course, are going to get into Uncle Howdy, Tiffany Stratton, take a look at those figures, but today we're looking at Latino Heat, and I'm very excited for it. I think this is, we're in for some good stuff. I think this is going to be a lot better than damn old Shreddy Guerrero over there, who we're definitely going to compare in this video. But man, you already like what you see. You want to purchase this Eddie Guerrero for yourselves. Go over to Ringside Collectibles, use code MD Toys to save yourselves 10%. But today we're going to be unboxing Guerrero. He's got the purple tights, got the shirt, looking pretty damn good. This is almost, I mean, you could say so. I think this is basically a greatest hits version, and I say that because it's almost identical to his last Ultimate Edition, but it has some upgrades, and we'll get into that. But you spin on the side, you get a nice shot of the handsome man there. Rest in peace to the legend. And then on the back, we get a shot of the figure up here, and then the talent down here. And damn, I wish he came with a WWE Championship, but got a little bio down there. If you want to read it, you can pause it now. On this side, you get his name, and then at the top, you know, of course, Eddie Guerrero up there. But that is pretty much the packaging on our Ultimate Edition Eddie Guerrero, man. So with that being said, let's crack this guy out of the packaging, find out what our Eddie Guerrero Ultimate Edition Series 28 figure is about, and see how he compares and fits into our WWE Mattel action figure collection. So here we have the new Ultimate Edition Eddie Guerrero out of the packaging, and I'm liking a lot of aspects of this figure, man. I think we have some great improvements here. I'm really excited to get into it, and I really think that this one could be a banger. We could be looking at an eloquent Ultimate Edition right here, man. But what we are going to do, as always, we're going to dive into the accessories first of the figure, and then we will dive into Eddie Guerrero himself, find out what this Latino Heat Ultimate Edition is all about, and see how we can get it going, man. So let's get into the accessories first, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure itself. All right, man, let's unpack these accessories here. You get a decent amount, but no championship belt, which is kind of crazy. You would think this would come with the WWE Championship. He's even featured on the back of the packaging, and in the bio, it says he it says he successfully defended the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 20, but still, this is from his Texas Bullrope Match at the Great American Bash, I think it was, with JBL. I could have swore it was for the championship, but I guess it wasn't. But no, it was, wasn't it? I think they don't mention it because they're like, yeah, you don't worry about it, no championship. Nah, he definitely had the title, man. He definitely had the title. Now, who cares? Me, I care, actually. But getting into these head sculpts, we have seen this head sculpt before. It's just repainted, right? It's got a more accurate skin tone on it. You know, the hair is a little bit more brownish instead of the blonde tips that we're used to, and it's pretty accurate. I think this looks pretty damn good. Likeness is uncanny. I think it looks really good. He did not have this hair right here. It's supposed to be kind of a goatee, like, sort of like Tony Stark a little bit, so I don't know, I might acetone that off to make it more accurate. Not the biggest deal, but it's certainly worth mentioning. And then you have the yelling head sculpt, which looks damn good. Again, it looks just like him. You can see, look, it doesn't connect here. That's accurate, so that's crazy. That's kind of crazy they did that, but it still looks good, man. I like all the head sculpts. They all have a great likeness on them. They look like the character. The skin tone is nice. The hair looks nice. They did a fantastic job on these. Even if they're not new, I still like them, and I think it's pretty good. And then we do have the iconic Latino Heat shirt here with Eddie Guerrero, kind of that Scarface black and white, which I think is sick as hell. WWE Championship. Nice shirt, man. I like this. I think this is probably his most iconic shirt, but you can see it's sleeveless. It has no Velcro, addicted to the heat on the back. Very clean, man. Very, very clean. I love this. I'm glad to have another one of these in the collection. Throw it on some Eddie Guerrero figures. They've pretty much got all of his different good shirts, man. You got this one twice. We got the Cheat to Win. We got the I'm Your Papi. So they've been killing it on the Eddie Guerrero tees. And then we do have the bull rope, and we have seen this bull rope before. It's nothing new. We saw this with the Defining Moments Cody Rhodes, and I want to say they gave it to us with another figure, but it does have the cowbell in the middle. It's nicely painted. It is, you know, just it's like a loosey rubber. It's like a thin rubber. You don't have to worry about it breaking or anything, but it's not bendy wire, but it's articulated because you can kind of, you know, it doesn't hold position, but it's still nice, and it's got some nice rope sculpts in here, and you can put it on your figures and do a bull rope match. Never tried it before, but I bet it would be, I think it would be serviceable. It's not perfect, but it's pretty nice. And then for interchangeable hands, you do get a pair of mic holding hands with the hand tape and the white pegs. Would have been cool if they gave us sculpted hands like CM Punk, but I guess since they couldn't, you know, they didn't put it on the actual arms. They didn't put it on any other hands, so I guess this works. You also get a pair of fists to beat the hell out of people and do the kind of shoulder shimmy, which I used to do all the time in elementary school, and I was like the only one of my friends that could do it, but they used to tell me to do it all the time because, you know, it's like that Eddie Guerrero shuffle style deal. Awesome. And then we do have the wide open entrance style hands, or the slap your chest hands, or the knife edge chop hands, or the entrance handshaking style hands, which are nice. And then we have the Randy Orton entrance style hands, but you could do this for all kinds of stuff for Eddie Guerrero. Hands on the waist, coming down for the frog splash, entrance in the lowrider, all kinds of stuff for these hands. Alright, man, we're getting into Eddie Guerrero here, and we already know about these head sculpts. They look pretty daggum good, man. I mean, this is, I mean, what are you asking for, man? This looks pretty good. Besides the beard connecting right there, you can see here it does not connect, and this looks pretty good, though. I like the more accurate skin tone. I think that is nice. You know, we have seen this torso before. I don't think we're looking at anything new, but it almost looks a little more defined than the last one, which we'll get into. You also notice they're giving him standard arms and shoulders on this guy. So the Seth Rollins shoulders and arms, the Finn Balor shoulders and arms, the Cody Rhodes shoulders and arms. That is what you're getting here. And he's not the same skin tone as Stone Cold. He's actually not necessarily his own skin tone. It's kind of hard to say, but this is Cody Rhodes, and on camera they kind of look the same, but this one's like if you say this was like 15%, this looks like it's 10% or 20%. You know, barely one way or the other. White wrist tape. You do have his tattoo over here, which is cool. I do like that. On the back, nothing too there. Got the Latino on the back. Speaking of which, does the new Dominic Mysterio have the Latino or the Dominic Mysterio inspired Eddie Guerrero gear? I hope that's what that is nonetheless. But we do have the purple tights here with the gold cross. Got the red flames going down. Very cool gear. Very bright and colored. I don't know. Just very saturated and nice. I love these. It is the same legs we've seen on the last one. I'm going to scoot this back a little bit so we don't knock it over. But then he does have the same boots. Gold and black boots, which is more of a tan color instead of a bright gold or shiny gold. And it's a little bit different than we've seen in the past. But with this figure, we are getting some really good things going on here. He can't look down that much or up that much with this, you know. I'm still waiting on that ball hinge from the Legends Target exclusive Bray Wyatt that's coming soon. But ab crunch is, you know, it's an ultimate. There's not great ab articulation when you lean forward, really, or back. A little bit more back than forward, though. You get that upper diaphragm pivoting there so you can lean either direction. No real ab crunch, though, which is pretty unfortunate. Very tight waist, though, that can spin all the way around. You're getting a solid butterfly joint that can come across here, which is very nice, and it can go back really far. So everybody hates on the Ultimates, but I really do like that you can stretch these, you know, these butterfly joints forward and backwards pretty nicely for the most part. The arms go all the way around, of course. You get the bicep cut, double jointed pinless arm, which is nice. You get rotation and hinge in the wrist, which is beautiful. Legs can kick up, and he does have drop down hips, so you can drop that down and drop it back up. Regardless of that, he can kick forward pretty nice. Above 90 there, he can go above 90 here, which is great. All of this feels very fluent and buttery smooth. Upper thigh cut, pinned leg, so you know the double jointed knee is pretty damn chef's kiss. Boot cut, feet go down and up, and he does have the new feet, which is kind of crazy. Didn't expect that, but you do get the toe pivoting as well. But man, this guy articulates very well. Nothing about it is, you know, just trash, or I feel like it's, you know, terrible. But one thing I want to do before we get into comparisons is I have these Triple H arms off screen from the Walmart exclusive Ultimate Edition. Now, these arms are not the same shade. They're very close, but they're a little bit more red than brown, if I had to say. But a lot of people were saying that this figure deserved bigger arms and shoulders, so I put in the Eddie Guerrero hands into this figure, and this is something that you may want to do with this figure if you're so far inclined. You can see here the difference between it, and you can let me know if you think this is solid. I mean, I can definitely see that it looks a little big. Maybe they need an in-between mold, but I don't know. If you put the shirt on it, and we're going to put the shirt on it in just a second, and you pose this guy around, and maybe I'll do some photography at the end, I think he could probably get away with it. It's just the proportions between the upper body and the lower, and his legs were not big, but his shoulders and arms were massive, and he had a big chest, you know, like look at his arms back here. He had big deltoids, upper arms. I mean, dude was big, but his legs weren't ever that big, you know, but I think it's either they need to upgrade the legs or they need to find a better arm mold, but I don't think these arms are bad. I don't think they're that bad, and one thing, again, I want to do is I want to put this Latino Heat shirt on here, and let's see if, you know, this solves the case. Maybe, you know, the Eddie Guerrero, putting the shirt on there made him look instantly upgraded, so maybe this new Ultimate can be upgraded as well if we change, you know, if we put the shirt over the torso, it can kind of hide the smallness of it and maybe create some sort of illusion for us or something like that. Probably should have took the head sculpt off, but we got it on there now. Let's pop these new arms in here, or these Triple H arms, and just see what it looks like. I mean, that's not, half bad right there. Let's just see here. Putting that on there, and then, dude, that looks pretty damn good, man. I think that's not bad, man. I mean, the skin tones, I don't think they're a one-of-one match, but I don't think you would notice it that much. It's not bad, and I'm going to do a pose-off with this guy when it comes to my Instagram, and you'll see it in figure photography. I may, do some different shots with the arms, without the arms. I don't know quite yet, but I don't know. We'll see. That doesn't look that bad, though. It's just those proportion issues. Like, to the side, you can see it's just so much bigger, but really, is it that bad? I don't know. Anyways, let's get into some figure comparisons with this Eddie Guerrero. So for your Eddie Guerrero Ultimate Edition figure comparisons, here we have the first Ultimate Edition Eddie Guerrero, which was the Ruthless Aggression Walmart exclusive Ultimate. You can see way bigger Ultimate Warrior torso, different skin tone, jacked arms. Then the upgrades come over here with a corrected skin tone, smaller shoulders and arms, better torso, and then you have the WCW version. So you can see these torsos are slightly different, man. They are slightly different. They actually upgraded him. He's bigger here. They put on more muscle, which I think is a fantastic upgrade. That's actually pretty crazy that they were able to do so. And looking at him, I mean, this guy's just massive, dude. Look how ridiculous he looks. I'm so glad I put him on the worst list. People just glazed this figure. They were lighting this figure up, saying it was so great. That Shreddy Guerrero over there, I don't think so, man. This one's way more accurate. Way better, man. Way better. Oh, my goodness. It's not even close. And it's so cool that they gave this one, like, a more ripped up torso and a bigger upper torso. That's crazy. I didn't even notice that, but damn, that looks really good. But this is your kind of Eddie Guerrero Ultimate Edition comparisons if you want to, do something with that or whatever. But I also want to compare it to some Elite figures, so we're going to bring some Elite figures on screen now. And here we have some different Elite Eddie Guerreros from around this same era. You can see over here, this is the Legends Elite with a head swap with the Elite 95. This is the Elite 95 with a head swap with the Legends, so that's just a head swap from surgery. We have the original Legends with the original head sculpt, which is very similar to this one. I would prefer them re-release this figure. This figure was so damn good. It was one of my favorite Elites from that particular year, but I love this figure so much, but they have upgraded it now. They can give it double jointed arms. They can give it the right skin tone, give us the same head sculpt. You could just re-upgrade this guy and fix it. I think that would do wonders for it. And then you do have the From the Vault, which is a re-release of the original Legends, but it does have the darker skin tone on there. So there's some just different ways you could play this at the same time, but I would really like to see this one redone. And I never got the Elite 95 Chase. That's another figure I need to track down. But we also have the SmackDown 4-pack one here, and this is something I wanted to look at. This is the, this is the jeans one where they made him way too big. I mean, this is what it is. And you can see here, they gave this guy the Macho Man torso, which is what this figure has, and this figure has. I mean, all these Elites do, but I know this is an Ultimate, but this is with the corrected skin tone, and this actually has the tattoo on there. So if you wanted to, you could put different shoulders into this guy, and then you can't pop them straight out, but you could probably switch these shoulders with a different Ultimate, and then put these arms in there, and have a fully corrected Eddie Guerrero with the tattoo, the wrist tape, all that different stuff. And I also wanted to put this head sculpt on here just to see what it looks like, because it will fit on there. But this head sculpt was a bit big, so it may not look right. It may look dumb. That's not bad there. It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely a big head sculpt. Don't get me wrong. That's a big dome, son. You got a little dome. That's a big old dome you got there. But putting that there and then just putting this head sculpt on here, if you wanted to attempt that, you could put some of these other Ultimate head sculpts onto this jeans 4-pack if you wanted to. Let's put the yelling one on here just to kind of see. You could even make a promo gear Eddie Guerrero or something like that. Put a Hawaiian shirt on this guy. I might do that on surgery, but you can see there. Watch on him? I don't know, man. We may be cooking. That ain't half bad right there. But he wore more of like khaki pants instead of jeans, right? I know he wore jeans on TV, don't get me wrong, but I know. And it's kind of from two different eras. It's just something to talk about, but I don't know, I may play with some surgery on that, but that definitely does not look bad whatsoever. And alright, man, I wanted to do this real quick before, just as a last little comparison. This is the Lucha Lowrider that we got from WrestleMania 39 for Rey Mysterio. And we did this, I want to say, with another vehicle. I know I had a Bratz car or something on the last Eddie Guerrero, but this is more of a Mattel all-in-one, thing, and I'd like to customize this deal, but this is how it looks up next to it. Perfect scale, in my opinion. I think it looks really, really good here. And I'm going to show you some, figure photography, so don't worry about the angles right now. But if you wanted to put him in here and, showcase the ability of this figure here, and you can do that, and we'll spin him around so you can see. Looks pretty damn good, man. This would go great on your shelf. You could pose him in the car. You could pose him standing up in the car. You could have him resting on the hood and stuff with other, Rey Mysterio or whatever from that magazine cover. There's a lot of cool things you could do here. And I'll do figure photography with it in the arena so you can see fully what it looks like. But this is a great display item for this Ultimate Edition Eddie. I mean, if you don't have this Ultimate Edition Eddie and this car, I would run out and buy this car right now, the Lucha Lowrider. My kids beat the hell out of mine, so you get some paint scratches and stuff. I do have one that's mint out of the box, but I don't know. It's not the biggest deal to me. I do have one extra, but I like this Lucha Lowrider. I think they did a really good job with it. It looks realistic enough, but it also has playability. Wish it had operational doors and stuff. Nonetheless, I still like this figure a lot. Great looking Eddie Guerrero, and it goes great with this Lucha Lowrider. Perfect for your Ruthless Aggression or Eddie Guerrero display. But I think that all but wraps up our review of this Ultimate Edition Eddie Guerrero, man. At the end of the day, I think this is a significant upgrade over the Shreddy Guerrero. Now, you can give me what you will about the attire. You know, maybe you prefer that old Legends No Way Out gear. I understand that. I think I probably prefer that gear too. But this purple is a nice touch. We haven't seen an attire like this. I think that's very sweet. But getting this era of Eddie Guerrero in another Ultimate is fantastic. This is a legendary shirt. This is a legendary run. And, I mean, I'm all about it. I think this is a great upgrade. Say what you will about the shoulders and arms. I think it's possible to switch. I didn't put a ton of time into trying to find a match, and I couldn't think of one right off the dome. I just grabbed what was closest, and I think the Triple H arms look pretty good. I think that if they did give us bigger shoulders and arms, it would have upgraded this figure a little bit. I do like that about the figure in a lot of ways. There are some great things here. Great head sculpts. I like the skin tone repaint. I like the gear. Wish it came with the WWE Championship, but that is what it is. I like this figure a lot. I think if you have this figure or you got this figure, you missed out on that original one. This one's better anyway. It's more accurate skin tone. It doesn't have an ugly Ultimate Warrior torso. There are some fantastic things here that I am an approver of. I think it's been fun. It was so fun to shoot. It moves well. I don't find myself wanting to pull my face off with posing him around. I think it's just a joy. It's a joyous figure. It's a fun one. Now, is it just going to shatter the earth in terms of newness? Not really. But I think that at the same time, you know, it's just a great upgrade. That's why I called it kind of a greatest hits version of Eddie Guerrero, because it's taking that original Shreddy Guerrero Ultimate that wasn't very good, and it has revived it. It makes it better, and I think that this is a really good release overall, and I think if you're an Eddie Guerrero fan, absolute must cop. It was great, man. Great figure overall. I think you'd like it, but if you guys want to grab this figure, you can do so over at ringsidecollectibles.com. Use code MDTOYS to save yourselves 10%. This figure is an absolute must-have if you're an Eddie Guerrero fan, and this is going to go perfectly on your Ruthless Aggression shelf, and you should grab it if you are considering it. I think it's great, man, but nonetheless, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for me, man. I hope you guys did enjoy. Huge shout out to our Patreon members, man. You guys are unbelievable. Thank you guys so very much for watching. You guys are fantastic, and I just appreciate you so very much. That is pretty much going to wrap it up for me, man. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a blessed one, and I will catch you guys later.